This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cageside Press here with Coach Antonio McKee ahead of his son AJ's lightweight debut on October 1st. So first off, Antonio, I've probably listened to you for the last hour talking about how he needs to stop smoking weed, how you've said that might have contributed to losing to the title this past spring. Can you please just clarify what you mean with all this?
Well, when he wasn't smoking and he said he was going to finish everybody in the first round, you saw him in the tournament, he said, "Dad, I'm going to win that $1 million." He had ambition. He had drive. He had determination. And then after he accomplished his goal, he went back to his old cannabis products, and guess what? He didn't even want to fight that night. Although he won, we know he won, but he lost the decision. But I believe that was the best thing that could ever happen because guess what? He's sober again. And guess what? He's going to finish this guy. Probably won't go past the first or second round because he's back on point again. And I'm just happy to see that he made the right decision in life based on what he does for a living. He's not a rapper. So he's getting punched in the face. He's got to slip, cover, roll, block, and then he's got to execute. And that just doesn't help you do that very well. Ask Nick and Nate. They get hit a lot in the fight. They're the toughest dudes on the planet.
This is very true. I do not disagree with you on that one. Talking about Spike Carlisle, and actually, yes, let's start with Spike. Obviously, there's a guy who's been around in the bigger shows, got experience. We know he goes out there to bring it. What's the biggest thing you notice in breaking down Spike in terms of what AJ needs to do out there?
Well, for one, you're dealing with like two different dimension of fighters. You're talking about somebody that's one-dimensional in the old way versus somebody in the new dimension, not 3, but 4, moving in angles and doing things that just doesn't make sense. The only way that I see this fight going is AJ finishing him, whether it's knocking him out, whether it's tapping him out, or whether it's kicking him, or whether it's submitting him. One of those things have to happen. Now, this is a fight, so there is a fair share and an opportunity for him to win as well. But unfortunately, it's just not fast enough. I just can't see what he's going to do. I don't take it for granted, but I'm just saying, like, him off marijuana is a whole nother athlete.
Talking about 55 now for AJ, just what changes have you been able to make in terms of his strength and conditioning now that he doesn't have to cut that extra weight, he can keep it on? Obviously, you want him to be solid and be able to roll with those guys if it gets physical at 55.
Well, he's always been strong, abnormally strong. I think, thank God, and my great ancestors for that. That's just a genetic thing, but dude, it's been horrible. I've had to hire people now, and I pay pretty decent money for them to come in and train with him, and he's just mauling through all of us, and we're just going to have to tell him, hey, this is what you got to practice. There's certain secrets to training guys like him and athletes that are like him for them to get better, and that's what you saw in that tournament. You saw him getting better and better and better. So you're excited to see him fight because you didn't know what you were going to get. And then, of course, you saw the last fight and you were like, well, it looks like he's gonna, but he's not, but he's gonna. And you're waiting. Well, you don't have to wait anymore. He's back. He's back doing what he was doing in the beginning.
Can you give me an update? Because with the BodyShop, obviously you guys burst onto the scene. You got all these guys. A few of them have been out a minute. Just what's the latest with Joey Black Ice Davis and Baby Slice?
Well, Baby Slice is doing other things. He's making good money. He's into the celebrity stuff. Joey Black Ice is recovering. You know, he needed some time off. You know, I've got a gym full of warriors. And we take our time, we do it right. And we train adequately enough to where they can get better and be able to execute it when they're in the cage. That's why you see my guys doing so well. Whether they lose or win doesn't matter. You're going to get the best fight out of each and every one of my guys, and that's because of the structure, the way we train, the team, the unit. You come in as an individual, you become part of the team, you become a successful champion, and that's just the way it is.
Finally, I'd like to ask you about your music video co-star, Jake Paul, just signed for a big boxing fight. Okay, I mean, you're an MMA fighter, you're an MMA coach, you're one of the few guys out there who's gotten that one-on-one time with Jake. I know you guys didn't necessarily train on set, but talk to me about this one. How do you see this young man doing against one of the GOATs of our game?
Jake Paul is a savage, okay? I respect everything that man is doing. I respect the way he does it. He's not smoking dope. He's not out getting drunk every night, partying. That man is dedicated to his craft. He's in the gym. He spends time there. I've seen and sent fighters to train with him. I think he's gonna get a referee stoppage against Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva's a GOAT, man. But when you're dealing with speed, power, and timing, you got a problem. This guy's tough, man, and he's in the gym. People don't realize when he's out, he's still in the gym. He does not stop training. And I think people slip and they miss the part of being a dedicated fighter. Means you train dedicatedly daily. That's what your job is, right? He takes his job serious. He doesn't have long layoffs. He's back in the gym, and I see him. Y'all need to put some respect on Jake Paul's name. The man, he earned that.
Prior to getting to know him better through everything, were you surprised when he beat Tyron Woodley, who I know you've worked with before?
I wasn't surprised that he beat him, but I was surprised that he knocked him out like that. Tyron's tough. Tyron's an athlete. To get knocked out like that, you know what? That's a tough one. Even the people that didn't like Tyron were like, ooh, that one hurt. So I'm happy that Tyron's healthy now, and if he's getting back into the game, you know, I get back with him and we'll get it together and start training again. But you know, this sport is unforgiving, and you're only as good as your last fight. So judge yourself.